Hello. Um, let's take on a entirely different subject than anything I've discussed before. Let's discuss history. And I'm a big fan of researching history. And I found out that if you zoom in on little parts in history, you get lost in details. And it's something that the scholars love to get lost in details and to know anything about the details. And then you get to be a professor in archaeology, history, and genetics, and all kinds of stuff. And it's good that these people love that, because with the details comes information and you get detailed knowledge. It's not my style. I cannot handle that. I get lost in my head with too much details. If I zoom out too much in looking at history, then anything starts to look alike. So then you have these large groups like the Indo-Europeans or the Caucasians, Africans and Asians. You have these three groups, and they all start to look alike within the group. So too detailed, too wide zoomed. So I try to zoom in the right fashion. And I use a guide to do that, otherwise I got lost. So I started investigating the Norwegian gods, or the Scandinavian gods, the Aesir. I write it down. And the Aesir, we all know from the Marvel movies, came from Asgard, which is a people and not a place, they said. Maybe they were right, maybe they were wrong. The Aesir. Well, I don't know if you've read anything about him, but I did. And in one of those books from Snorri Sturluson, an Icelandic poet who wrote down in 1200 this year reckoning, yeah, that's 1200 AD. He wrote down these old Germanic or Scandinavian poems. Well, he did an introduction in the prose version of these poetry, and he wrote down some really big words. So to sum it up, he said, we Scandinavians came from Troy. Troy is close to where Istanbul is right now, Turkey. So, oh my God, we came from Troy. That's one. Two, he said, we call Thor, or Thor, Asa Thor. Okay, I didn't know there was another Thor, but they designate Thor as Asa Thor. We know Thor, right? Aesir. You have Thor, Odin, and lots of other guys and women. But we're talking about Thor, Odin, the Aesir. And in this story, I do an introduction and then we start investigating this guy, Thor. So, they called Thor Asa Thor. It's of interest, we'll get to that. And the third thing was the most loud talking I've ever seen. He said that Odin will conquer the world. He conquered Europe. Okay. So, Odin conquered, let's say, Europe. Yeah. So he describes the conquest from Troy all the way up to Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Okay. Well, let's find out if this ancient poet was right. So, first, Thor. Let's talk about Thor first, right? We write it down. Thor. Asa, or As or Os, means God. And when you research history, you have to research language. And this instance, you have to research Germanic languages, but also Indo-European. I've read a lot about Proto-Indo-European language, which is like the ground for all Indo-European languages which are spoken throughout Europe and all the way to India and all the lands in between. Yeah. More or less. Well, Asa, As or Os, means God. And not the biblical God, but the pagan God. Asa also means east. Well, we know the word Asia. East. So that's, from our point of view, Asia is lands in the east. So if you live there yourself, if you're a Thai, you're not going to say that you live in Asia. You don't live in the east. You live there. Yeah? So it's a point of view. East. It also means dawn. These two are related. Okay, so what has that to do with Thor? Well, you come across a name which is it sounds very the same. If you're creative. Ishtar. It's a goddess, so it's a female. This is a male, right? Ishtar was a goddess of love and war. It was the all-encompassing mother. So the heavenly mother who ruled everything in heaven and on earth. Yeah, she was equal with the planet Venus, which is the morning and evening star. Yeah. We know the word star. It's not that far-fetched, right? It's almost here. Yeah, Aster. We know the word Aster. Aster, Ishtar, and Easter. It all has the same ring. Somehow it's connected. Well, Ishtar was venerated in Assyria. Well, I'm gonna throw some numbers and they're more or less correct. Not 100%. Yeah, it's too detailed for me. So, let's say 2000 BC. Something like that. give or take. Okay, Assyria was a Semitic culture, they say. So, Assyria was Semitic, and this is, okay, let's say Indo-European, right? I-E, as opposed to Semitic. I'm gonna prove to you that it's not opposed at all. There's connections in language and in culture, and I'm gonna prove it with this story, right? So anybody who doesn't like to hear about that, stop watching now. If you do like to hear about it, keep watching. So, Assyria, the name itself, comes from city-state Assur, or like this, yeah, with a god, Ashur. Well, if you have the ear and the eye, Asir, Assur, Ashur, it's very much the same. If you want to believe, or you dare to believe, that these are the same, this would mean Assyria, the kingdom of the Asir, of the Ase. Yeah. This word Assur, if I'm correct, studying language, As means flowing, Ur means water. So you name your city flowing water. Yeah, so if you walk a country and you don't know where you are, and you meet someone and you say, hey man, where should I go because I'm lost? And he says, yeah, there's flowing water. In this dry, hot country, that's a nice way to describe a city. You find flowing water there. That's good knowledge. So this name, flowing water, it's not that far-fetched. He had all kinds of other cities with Ur or Uruk, which has Ur as the name for water as well. Or Ur means Urt, Erde in German, or Aard in Dutch, earth in English. Or this means both water and earth. Yeah, you built a city at that time from mud bricks. Mud is made of soil and water. You get mud. When it dries, you get bricks. You build your city. So this might mean water, earth. Yeah. If this is Indo-European, otherwise it doesn't make sense. So, Thor, Ishtar, the place and the time. Oh my God, Thor would come from the Middle East, was a woman, was venerated by Semitic speaking peoples. Okay. Somehow Thor was adopted and taken to the north by Indo-European peoples. Okay. Let's wipe this, yeah? So, well, let's forget about Assyria, Ishtar, the woman, and look into Troy. So, Troy. With Brad Pitt, right? Maybe you've seen the movie. I didn't. I can't watch most of the movies because they're so historically. It's maybe a nice movie, but it's historically very untrue. So I can't watch it. Yeah, Troy. Troy was destroyed 1200 BC, yeah? Something like that. I don't know. 1100, 1200 BC. Let's say 1200 BC. It was destroyed by the Greeks. Yeah. But Troy, the city, they excavated the whole rubble, and there were, I think, 7 Troys, all destroyed and built up again. And they were not all Indo-European, but the last Troy was either built or occupied by Indo-Europeans, the Hittites, who were certified Indo-European. So no matter what I think of it, it has been proven there were Indo-Europeans living in Turkey from around 1500 BC. And they were horse boys. Yeah. They were steppe warriors. They did not were sedentary peoples at all, as opposed to the peoples who lived in the Middle East, in Syria, or Sumeria, or Egypt. They were sedentary. They lived agricultural lives and had cities where it was supposed to be peaceful and prosperous. But these fighting types came with their horses and hit and run and raiding and warrior style. They were basically gangsters. Yeah, not nice at all. They came and invaded the Middle East, more or less successfully. Well, the Hittites had a god they adopted from people before, or well, here my mind get messed up. Yep. There's a Tarhuns. It's a lightning god, fertility god. Well, Tarhuns, of course, Thor. You can see that, right? Tarhuns, Thor. And if you look at the language from the Hittites, you see a lot of endings. Words end with something like O, A, N. Yeah, in the Sanskrit. Yeah, in the Indian language, the Indo-European Indian languages, almost any word ends with A-N. Yeah, it's a lot of A's there. It's like Mahabharata. Oh my god, only A's. That's that language. These languages, and in Tar, lots of Tars. Well, Thor, or Tarhuns, as a fertility god, lightning. You see it in all kinds of carvings. Yeah, stone carvings. You carve your picture. Yeah, you didn't paint your picture, you carved your picture. It lasts long, thank God. So, Tarhuns, lightning, and grain. The crops, yeah, the sedentary life, which was already there when these Indo-Europeans arrived, because they don't cultivate grains. They herd cattle, drink the milk, eat the meat, and take whatever staple food they can find or raid. So, Thor was already there, venerated as this god of wheat. Yeah, not the weed, but wheat, yeah. So, in Holland, we have a certain kind of grain or wheat we call tarwe. Yeah, it's there. It's right in your face. Tarwe. The gift of Thor. The Dutch language, by the way, is very closely related to Gothic. That's my finding. Yeah, when I read Indo-European dictionary, 3,000 pages from A to Z, I studied. I liked it. I learned that the Dutch is most closely related to Gothic, which is a language not spoken anymore, but it's been written down and there's lots of research about Gothic. And I'll come to that later. The Goths, or the gods. Well, we'll find out. There's something special about Gothic. Come to that later. But Tarwe, Thor, fertility god. Well, Troy was destroyed. People fled or had to move. Well, during that expansion, might very well have happened that people moved up north through a country called Thracia or Thracia, I don't know. And you have the Black Sea, and you have the Mediterranean, and here you have the Persian Gulf, yeah. Okay, this is close to each other, right? And here is Troy, here's Greek, so Greece, Thracia is here somewhere, and these people moved up. Here is Norway, far away, yeah. Here's Italy, Egypt. So yeah, Thracia, Thor and Thra is very much the same, and the country of Thor. So no mention of Odin anywhere, but we'll get to that later. But Thor, yeah, Troy, Thracia, no problem. And there was trade everywhere. There was also trade here. You know the Ukraine, everybody knows Ukraine right now, right? So, there's this big river, the Don, Dniester, all kinds of rivers. Ukraine is very fertile land, yeah, always been. And there has been trade from the Ukraine. And the Steppe boys, by the way, come from here somewhere, yeah? So you have Ukraine here, and these horse boys came from there. They invaded this area, either through the Caucasus here, or came from there. Some came from here, that's fine too, yeah? Or here. Well, there was trade from amber to the Middle East a long time ago, yeah? There was trade from Britain, British Isles, some kind of metal, yeah? I don't know the English word for it. Metal, tin. It was traded They made bronze here. Yeah. There was also trade with India, Persia. So these trade routes, when you have to flee, you follow what you know. These trade routes. So people either went up here or up there to the north, because you're familiar with these people. You know there's lands there. People live there, so it's good living. You don't go into a desert where nobody lives and nobody goes. Even if you have to flee, you're gonna die. So, better go to your neighbors who you know, or go to your neighbors and conquer them. So either you go there friendly or unfriendly. Yep. So the story of Odin conquering the world and going up north could easily have occurred after the destruction of Troy. You have another people, very interesting. They went here, the Etruscans. So, the Etruscans, the name Etrusk, is very interesting because the name Thor is found, yeah, you have Thor, Ishtar, so Ishtar. You also have Etar, Atar, all these gods, fertility gods. So this is the only female and the rest is male, yeah, because of the change in society, yeah, from sedentary female nourishing countries, cultures to male dominating fighting warrior communities where male were dominant, so the gods were male and dominant as well. So Thor, Etar, Atar, these gods, these names, they were found in Indo-European tribes all over Turkey, Caucasus, Persia, Middle East, all around 1000 BC. Yeah. And the Etruscans, the name Etrusk, people venerated Etar, Tru, Thracia, Thor. It's all there, right? And now I'm losing my thread. The Romans, so you have Etruscans here, Italy, yeah. Rome is here, Etruscans were there, and they were very, they were emulated by the Romans. They were very good at building. They took that knowledge from Troy. They were good at agriculture. They took it as well from there. So Thor went here. Yeah, the people of Thor, of Troy, went to become Etruscans and lived there. They say that this guy came from Troy, and Aeneas, I think, if I'm correct, he founded Rome. You have lots of Rome founding myths, like these wolf boys, Romulus and Remus. Well, wolves, venerating of this fighting tribe, yeah, as wolves. Look at this blue-eyed man, yeah, and wolves have blue eyes, right, or bright white eyes. Well, you have no wolves with brown eyes, yeah. So, these fighting guys, fighting like wolves, like a pack of wolves, looking the same, behaving the same. Indo-European fighters from the plains, yeah. Well, wolf boys here. Odin has two wolves at his side, by the way. So this wolf boy theory is not that far-fetched, right? Okay. So dispersion of peoples from Troy. So this story about Odin conquering the world or Europe might be true. We'll get back to that later, yeah? So one thing about Thor, which sets him apart from many other Norwegian gods, is that he wields a mace, not a sword. Sword is of course a high-tech invention. You cast bronze, you make knives, and then you make very long knives. It's sword, right? Thor had the hammer. Yeah. And you can smash someone's skull or break bones. And if you break someone's bones with a hammer like that, yeah, you walk away and someone will die of gangrene. Yeah, or you need to amputate anything that because your bones get splintered, and splintered bones don't heal, so you die anyway. So when you get struck by the hammer, big time, you're screwed, more or less. Yeah, so it's dangerous. It's not to be trifled with. But this is ancient. This was way before the sword. So the sword was 1500 BC or something. Yeah, these horse boys were very good at metal work, casting bronze. Yeah. Odin, by the way, doesn't have a sword either. He has a spear, which is probably even older than the mace. Because with the mace, you're not gonna hunt any animals with the mace. A mace is either made for it's a tool to make utensils, yeah, to make stuff you can use to build a house, or to smash grain and to make flour, yeah. But this is not a hunting weapon. Spear is a hunting weapon, yeah. Spear is even older. So this was meant to be, it was a tool, and you could also use like a blacksmith, yeah. You can also smash someone's head in. So it was a buy thing, yeah. So Thor didn't ride a horse. Odin rode a horse, right? But Odin comes later. Thor didn't ride a horse, he rode a goat chariot. Yeah, goat. Okay. And here was Thor with a big beard, wild hair, and his hammer with lightning. And of course, when he flew off, lightning comes from above, yeah. He flew off, and Santa Claus with his flying deer and his sleigh, yeah. It's connected with Thor flying in his chariot and wielding lightning and bestowing boons on the earth, because this rain brought fertility. Anywhere rain brings fertility. So Thor is old. The conclusion, Thor is older than he has nothing to do with the Indo-Europeans at all. Because of the hammer, because of the goat chariot, and because of his appearance in the Middle East. So Thor was Middle Eastern. I hope I proved that to you right now. I hope you accept it. Well, the name Thor is interesting when you're researching the name and you are looking all over the world. Like, how far spread was this Thor culture. It's not Indo-European Thor culture, right? Well, I know there's a connection between the Middle East, Sumeria, and India. It's the Dravidian languages, yeah. So you have India, and you have a north-south cline, genetically and culturally. So here's Dravidian. They look different, they're darker, they speak different. Here's Indo-European, they're lighter skinned and speak Indo-European language. Yeah. Here is Sumeria, Persian Gulf, Arab country. There was trade connections by land and sea from here till here and there. This is called BMAC. Yeah, let's say that Himalaya mountains. Here, it's there. So here's the Himalaya mountains. Yeah, mountains and more mountains. And you have the steppe, yeah. And here you have a very interesting valley. They traded here. It's all connected by trade, either by sea, by ship. Yeah, by ship or by land. So when I found Thor here, I was looking for Thor here too. Because why? Why here? Well, I was just reading, and these cultures and here share city names. You have a city called Hastinapur. You have all kinds of cities here which end on the suffix. Is that right, suffix? Pur or Ur. And here you had cities like Ur, Uruk, Asur. Yeah, but in the Sumerian language, which is quite different from Indo-European, what we learned, yeah, the Indo-European language we learned from the Sumerians as well, I think, but still. Meaning, as already said before, meaning water or earth. Yeah, you find it here too, in place names. Okay. So I was looking at the language and I found the word Taru, meaning tree, but more a tree of life or a nourishing tree. Oh God, my writing is bad, sorry. Taru. Thor, oak tree. Yeah, maybe. It's not that far-fetched because the Germanic myth is all about we come from trees. Yeah. You have Ask and Embla, the first two humans. A-E, Adam, Eve, Ask, Embla. Ask is the ash tree and Embla is some bushy tree, it's the female. And if you see lightning, Thor, lightning, if you see lightning strike a tree, so you have a tree, and you see lightning strike it, that means the spirit of heaven enters the tree. Like the soul enters the women's womb. Lightning enters the tree, the spirit enters there, and human emerge from the tree. Sometimes the tree will literally crack open. So this myth, lightning, tree, people born from trees, and this Dravidian language, Taru, tree, might be connected. And when in a certain Dravidian language, I think it's called Telugu, I'm not sure 100%, but one of these languages, here comes, Tanir means rain. Oh my god. So Taru means tree and Tanir means rain. Thor and thunder. Lightning, rain, sure. Why? Well, that's why. I don't know. These are connected in this language, and somehow we have adopted that. We learned. So in our Germanic languages is hidden maybe from Sumeria, and I say we Indo-European peoples entered the Middle East at a certain point in time. There's debate about it, and I hope I can clear that up. But we learned words, culture, and gods. There's many more words we learned from either the Sumeric language or the Semitic language. So Hitler, if he knew, would turn around in his grave, because there's Semitic in the Germanic language, for sure. We even have certain traits. There you have the Semitic lip, or yeah, I'm not good at drawing, right? But the Semitic upper lip, yeah. You look at Arnold Schwarzenegger's smile, then you see diluted remnants of the Semitic lip features. Yeah, I have a mustache, you can't see. But study faces, yeah, and you'll see. There's more than just language in the Germanic peoples. I think there's Semitic blood in there as well. Okay. I think I said it all right now. And in the next movie, I'll discuss further connections between the Scandinavian gods and the Middle East. Yeah. Thank you for watching.